Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we out here doing the Lord's work. We're in the Tier 8 American destroyer, the Alan M. Sumner. Now, you guys may have noticed this thing recently got a pretty hefty nerf. Does that affect it any which way whatsoever? I say no. Its role is destroyer removal. First and foremost, that is what this ship is. So for all of y'all out there crying, complaining about the overabundance of Shimas and all these other torp boats, for the love of God, learn to play a gunboat. No more. No more should we ever have to worry about all these little torp boat turd waffles when we have just ridiculously overpowered gunboats that are out there. All you gotta do is jump in them and go murder the little turd boat. Like, just seriously, go murder them. Now, we've talked about this many times. The Sumner is by far, not even close, no question, the best Tier 8 destroyer. Even after the nerf, it still holds this title. I know other people will point to other ships as well, but I'm telling you, ain't nobody got on this destroyer. This destroyer is disgustingly good at what it does, which is hunt down and murder torpedo boats. Now, there will be moments when you get into fights with other gunboats where you're going to feel like, okay, the only thing you ever have to worry about in a gunfight is a Kaba. I don't know about the other Russian destroyers because I've never actually had to face them, but Kaba for sure. Kaba is the one ship that will just absolutely eat you for lunch, unless, of course, he goes broadside and you switch to AP and you just murder him with DPM that way. But most Kaba players aren't that stupid, right? Most Kaba players, because it's not an easy ship to do well in, most Kaba players actually know what they're doing. I know, it's crazy. But watch what happens here. Immediately, charge straight ahead into battle. You can see I actually have AP loaded because of Kaba fight at the end of the last battle. By the way, murdered him. Again, he was a dum-dum. But we switch over to HE. HE absolutely neuters these torp boats. Remember, the Z-44 is not a typical German destroyer. It is a torp boat. They cannot stand up to the power of a gunboat at all. Same with the Shimas. Alright, we got an entire lobby of nothing but torp boats against us. This is the feasting, hunting ground. This is the Thanksgiving dinner for the Alan M. Sumner. And we do exactly what we do best, which is just murder everything. We're already at 20,000 damage on 2 destroyers. Not too shabby. But now that we've cleared our side, look, listen to the battleships behind us going, thank God we have competent destroyer players. I mean, right? We all want that, right? We all want that. You know how you fix that? You become the competent destroyer player. You become the bane of every torpedo boat's existence. That is the only way that we can truly nerf these little turd burglars. Everybody wants to complain about the nerf of the Shimas and all that. I get it. Trust me. We all want the Shima to not be able to dish 370,000 damage of alpha every minute and a half from 5 kilometers completely undetectable. We all want that. But doesn't look like that's going to happen. At least not anytime soon. At the rate it's getting nerfed, it might somewhat be unreliable about the time I retire. But, currently, the counter is there, guys. And we've said this many a time. The counter is out there. You just have to play them. And these ships are fun. Don't get me wrong. Alan M. Sumner is some of the best fun that you're gonna have in this game. And that is not me being an American bias. Talk to anybody who plays destroyers and tell me that this is a bad ship or that this ship is not fun. This ship is full speed ahead, straight at a destroyer, which, by the way, reminder, we are running twist and track. Both of those other destroyers and the destroyers that we are going to go up against, none of them are running Perceptive or Twist and Track. We're running Perceptive, by the way, for the reduced damage as well as being able to spot out the enemy's, the nearest enemy's location, right? So, run that perk, go hunt, and feast on the enemy destroyers, and you will rack up the wins. Like, you don't understand just how important destroyers are to winning battles until you completely neuter the enemy's destroyers in the opening minute or 2 minutes of a game, and watch their entire team collapse afterwards because our team has spotting, our team has the ability to move around, and their team does not. Now here, we're not chasing Kite, right? Like, ARP Musashi's, he's reversing currently. He's actually going to go forward. These torpedoes are zoning torps. It's not that big a deal. We're just trying to limit what he can do, right? If he continues in reverse, we're going to torp the crap out of him. If he goes forward, then he's got to deal with our battleships, one of which has turned around, thankfully. He's dealt with the Lepanto that was in the middle. You can see on the map right now, one destroyer is likely in Alpha. The other destroyer is in Bravo, right? Based on the last known location and the fact that Bravo's lit up right now. Now watch. Battleship and Alpha about to leave the cap. So that's going to keep that cap being capped, and we know exactly where both of the destroyers are. One of the things that a lot of people don't pay attention to is caps being taken. Right? That is an easy indicator of where somebody is on the map. If your cap is being taken and nobody's spotted, generally speaking, it's a destroyer. Right? Who has the ability to move around the map completely undetectable? Destroyers. It's like the song for the Candyman. Who can take a DD? Oh, wait. Make it invisible. Run around the map with nothing to contest him. A DD man can. Anyway, y'all get the deal. But we capture the destroyer, or capture the decap, and then we immediately turn back to go for the destroyer that's in the Bravo cap. We know there's a destroyer on our left. We know that the enemy battleships are pushing out. Now, I'm not going to lie. I actually make a huge mistake here in a moment. But the other part of it is I want to get in here and help get rid of this guy. I know that our Schlieffen is pushing in. So we have Hydro available, potentially. He hasn't had to use his Hydro for anything, so he should have Hydro available. And that's another reason why going straight ahead, grabbing those destroyers early, you save utilities as a destroyer. Those utilities are essential late game, right? Like, it's not even a question. So we're going to get over here. We know there's a smoke screen, right? So you can see I am measuring up the curve first here. We've got a few seconds left for our torpedoes. And we get the Shima spotted most likely by the turd waffle over here in the Schlieffen. But we go ahead and watch the salvo right here. Like, first shot wasn't the greatest. We knock out his engine though. Second shot, we aim a little bit further forward. We get plenty of damage. The Schlieffen is melting this man, but we're going to go ahead and finish him off. Like, we have completely annihilated every one of these guys. They've had no chance. Now, obviously, we have somebody getting a little bit too close here, and that is the GK. Now, GK is very low health. He is broadside to our battleship at the decap. Decap has nothing better to shoot at, so you would think that this GK would go down relatively quick. But unfortunately, that is not what happens. We know the Shima's here. We can't do anything about that because we have to expect exactly that. We're spotted by the GK. GK fires his guns, takes over half our hit points. Fair play. He's keeping us spotted, and you can see I'm trying to work through an angle to get rid of this destroyer. Right, that's our main goal here, is to hunt down and get rid of destroyers. We do manage to take out the GK, thankfully, and the Shima is about to come around the corner, or so I thought. So you'll see I slow down here, I wait for my opportunity to potentially help my battleship. You can see the torps, which means that my Schlieffen is in fact running sonar, so he should be able to see these torps and at least try to limit the amount of damage he takes from them. But in doing so, he's also broadside to a Montana, and over angle to a curve first. But here we come around the corner, we're in a good position, we're going to start to absolutely neuter the Shima again, showcasing the absolute brutality that it is, the one-sided battle of a gunboat versus a torp boat. It isn't even a question. So anybody that does not understand how to get rid of other destroyers, or like how to get rid of destroyers in this game, there are counters. They're in the game. You just have to play them. And they are fantastic boats. And once you get rid of these destroyers, you have free reign to do whatever you want. Sure, maybe you're not putting up 300,000 damage games in the Sumner, but you don't need to. You will win most of the games that you play in this thing solely due to the fact that you're going to go around and you're going to murder every one of the destroyers, and then you have free reign to do whatever the f*** you want. And because you're a destroyer, you have the added bonus of being completely invisible for most of the match, so you get to dictate your own engagements, and you can grab the caps very easily, giving you huge XP bonuses, right? And because you take very little damage during the match usually, you end up spending less money to maintain your ship. I know, it's crazy. But I digress. We have a curve first here. Notice that we have spaced our torpedoes out throughout the match. Like, we haven't just launched all of them at one time. This is huge. See that? We hit 2, we get a flood. He's going to damage con that, right? Now he's turning in. I know he's not running sonar because he's already, like, or he's inside his sonar range, so if he was running sonar, we'd be lit up right now. But he's not. We do have to worry that in a moment we are going to get detected. He takes a flood from the friendly torpedo boat behind us. And so that's a permanent flood, we know that. But we're going to come in here and hit him with another torpedo. So we're going to actually take the flood from him. So now that's our flood and not the other guys. And you can see I do switch to AP here because I was going to shoot. And then because he's flooding and turning broadside to our teammate, we end up actually stealing the kill. And that's the game, guys. So please, for the love of God, jump in a gunboat, do the Lord's work, go out there and murder these torpedo boats. It's not even a question. 3,300 base XP by doing our job. Not crazy damage. What was it, 80,000 damage? 90,000? Yeah, 86,000 damage. But we killed 4 enemies, putting ourselves in a good position, and we helped capture 2 bases. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you guys out there actually playing the gunboats, going out and doing your jobs, murdering the little torp boats, doing everything in your power to make every torp boat captain regret ever stepping foot in a torp boat? If you are, I salute you. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.